home when you left. You're right. Your sister was home when you left. You're right. Your brother was home when you left. You're right. The dog was home when you left. You're right. The cat was home when you left. You're right. The fish was home when you left. You're right. Your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left. You're right. And that's the reason you left. You're right.
There's a trouble in the White House. Our country is confused. Our people destroying our nation like crazy. America is gone down to a banana republic. What can we do to save our country? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Atomic Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is January the 7th, the 7th day in the new year. And here we are in a state of shame and confusion. Let's get into my topics. First topic, shame on U.S. President Donald John Trump. 2, the errors of criminal impunities in Liberia must end now. And 3, to who the glory. We get up and hope for a better day every morning, every day. But we don't know what will happen at the end of each day. What will this day bring us? We don't know. But I come here like the pepper bird, the whistle, the beginning of a new dawn. To bring my people to the consciousness that the world is turning. And as it turns, we as the people must be a part of its turning. We must be engaged in every aspect of this world and our lives in it. And this is why Atomic Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson does his show early, because the early bird, the early pepper bird, gets the best worms. Aluta! Continue. Let's get into my show. We saw this spectacle yesterday at the Capitol of the United States of America in Washington, D.C. We saw the spectacle that was the final ending, or the pentacle of Donald Trump's administration. We saw it come to its total completion at its highest point. I warned my people over and over that this president, this losing, disgruntled, wicked, and useless president cannot help our country. His failure and shameful behavior because of his failure almost caused us to go to war, to have civil unrest in this country, for people to take up arms against each other. But you see, America has had 200 years of democracy. And American people have never really challenged his system. So when you have a demagogue, an incompetent like Donald Trump, who has lived on his father's wealth and his family name, disparaging poor people and minorities in this country, rises to the helm of leadership of America. He brings with him the whole baggage of racism, of lies, of treachery, of evil, all the things that represent the evil underbelly of American society. The enslavement of black people, the enrichment of one group of people on the backs of black people. And they want to do it continuously because their fathers have written in books how to enslave them. And you think black people would just be immune to being work the cattle, to being owned like chattel? We are God's people. We built this country not only as slaves, but as architects as well. So how long people think they can suppress the intelligence, the God-given wealth and power of the black man? How long you think you could do that? And it's just so good that there are conscious people in America still. We have boundaries. We have limits. There's a difference between arguing our problems and try to solve them than try to incite the American people into lawlessness. The greatest nation, the only country that represents democracy on the face of this earth. A useless president come and try to bring America down to a banana republic. It was a banana republic yesterday. We look no different than Costa Rica or one of those, Colombia or somewhere down there, or Chacaraka or Chucuruco or one of those countries down there. That's how we looked yesterday. And the FBI should go around and look through every one of those tapes and identify every those people who standing in the Capitol and charge them with treason, insurrection against the United States of America. All of them turning around talking about, oh yeah, this is our house, this is our house. Take their pictures, find out who they are in the FBI records, because many of them got criminal records. Find out who they are and let us go after them and lock these idiots up for the rest of their lives. Insurrection. And most of all, we have to teach Donald Trump, his family, and his enablers that this is the United States of America. When you tamper with democracy, when the people have spoken and everything, you have gone to the courts have denied you and told you no. You have gone to every institution in this country to try to overturn the election, and people are still tolerant of you. Then you come and try to overrun the Congress of the United States of America with a handful of your lost people, your grieving people, your unsensible people, your people who have no conscious minds of themselves. They listen to you, drive them astray. Donald Trump must be punished. A president of America cannot mislead the American people into violence, disruption of the Congress of the United States of America, and above all, having leaders of the United States of America cowering on the floors and under the tables and under the chairs because the leader of the United States of America has incited a group of Americans against law, order, and the Constitution of the United States of America. This cannot be tolerated. A strong example must be set of Donald Trump, and our laws must be amended to close all the loopholes that this man, this criminal con man, has instituted in our governmental structure. Good and bad. Good that he showed the weaknesses of our system so we can tighten it better. Bad because he had no intentions of being patriotic to America and the American people. This man has sold us out to Russia, and he must be punished. Aluta continua. My second topic, the errors of criminal impunities must end now in Liberia. We can't go through this thing no more. We can't go through this thing. Everybody coming out and talking about how our country is so terrible. Now look at my people. Just the street signs. Look at all the money we wasted. This is the same misappropriation of our money. People gave us money. We take all this money and give it to dummies to make street signs. The president, the mayor of the city of Providence is correction. Excuse me. The mayor of the city of Monrovia is an ignoramus. The mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Cozy, is a dummy, just like his president. Then y'all gave these people intellectual work to do. Y'all gave these people the difficult work of fixing signs, what they got to spell. These people can't even write a simple comma letter. The president of Liberia cannot write a fitting sentence. Then y'all gave these people signs to fix where they got to write names of streets. Are you people crazy? Then y'all sit down here and y'all piss off with the people. When the people, y'all give them street names and they try to translate the street name into the dialects and spell it just how they spell it in the dialects. Vi in crew is VAI. That's not Vi. That the crew people were spelling Vi. VIA or VAI, wherever they spell it. Via VIA, they have VAI. That's Vi. We so confused in this country. All of us can't spell no more. We got part of dummies leading us and spelling for us. And we got to be confused with all this kind of dumb spelling. Cheeseman is cheeseman, and what is that? Then y'all won't complain. How will complain? We forgive all the evils. When our children get educated, we forgive our leaders when our children are going to school. We forgive our leaders when they steal our resources. We say, for peace sake, oh, y'all leave it alone, man. Let's forget it. This is what it has all come down to. Leave it alone. Forget it. For peace sake. Now we're facing it. Y'all deal with it. Y'all deal with it. Because these are all the things, the criminality, the forgiveness, for peace sake, you forget it, leave it alone, and all these things. This is what it comes down to. We have a society of ignoramus. Who is competent in Liberia? Now we have wasted all this money on street signs. And all of them are spelled wrong. So we got to go pull all these signs down now and do it the right way. Who's going to pay for it now? You give the signs to idiots. People who can't even spell their name. This is the most disgusting shame and disgrace for Liberia people. Our leaders cannot spell their own street names. Our native people are so backwards that they had turned our country into a native village of dummies. Talbot told us this thing. When he died, our country will come down to nothing. Now our country has come down to nothing because the educated people among our tribal people have no competence. They are dumb, just like the dumb people from the villages. All of y'all talk all the stupidness about Congo people, about the American people suffering you. Then your dumb native people sit down there and take our signs and give it to dummies who are your people, and they write all the signs that you're getting pissed off. When the hell you're getting pissed off over? You are incompetent. Your elected are dummy. My Ellen Sirleaf, Johnson Sirleaf destroyed Liberia. And we must go after this woman. We got to go after this woman. This woman has shown us that she is an evil woman, that she hate our country. And it is evident by the man she selected, handpicked, and fought for to be president of Liberia today. Why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? Why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? All of us knew that this man was not presidential material. Why Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? Why would a Harvard graduate, a woman with your knowledge and experience and not even competence, I even know you're competent, why would you go take a dummy and make him president of Liberia and present him to the world as the future of our country? Now look at the disgrace. And our children and people are so disgusting. They're so deceitful and evil. Instead of blaming you, they're blaming George Weah. No, I am wise. I see and I know better. And I am not going to blame a dummy for what a Harvard graduate did to my country. I got to be an idiot little Liberian people to let you off the hook, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. All of this, you brought a disgusting shame on us. You put idiots in our government who can't even spell the street names in our country. Can't even spell their own damn name. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you are a witch. You are a demon and a devil. I will look down on you from heaven as you burn, burn, burn for what you've done to my country and people. For what you and your foreign allies have done to my country and people. The time of the Liberian people is here. Our forefathers in their graves are turning and turning and turning and turning over, calling Ellen name, but y'all can't hear it because you're young children, you're ignorant children, you're blind children, and anybody can fool you with a plate of rice. To who is the glory? I remember one time in Liberian society and culture, we gave glory to only God. We give thanks and praises to only Jesus Christ. But this is not the Liberia we know. This is not the Liberia I grew up in and was educated in and left in 1985. My country has been transformed completely. And the only person I see standing above my country is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And she's not worthy to be glorified. She's not worthy to be honored. She's not worth it to be called a former president of the Republic of Liberia. To who is the glory? The glory is always to God, not to man. And we have forgotten our path to leadership. When we begin to glorify these useless leaders and their families and their children over us, forgetting where we have patriotism only to Liberia and to no old ma and her children or her sister and useless family running around Liberia stealing our property and wasting our resources and enriching themselves to keep a hegemony over our country and people. We can't continue to have that. To who is the glory? The glory is only to God. I owe Ellen Johnson Sirleaf nothing. I owe her family nothing. They owe me nothing. So when you take over my country and my resources, you better know I owe you nothing and you owe me nothing. And your job is the job that we hire you to do. And there's no friendship in that job. There's no familyhood in that job. You fail to do that job. You deserve to be punished and jailed than every other criminal, my Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And this is the blessing I'm bringing to you and your family to serve your punishment on earth. So it will be much easier when you die. God will have leniency on you because Attorney Commander J. Galpohkpa Chesson took care of you and your family here and disciplined you and guided you to the right path of correction and positivity. I am a correctional officer. Ladies and gentlemen, my class is in because we come here and talk the same thing over and point the same dysfunctional behaviors going on in our country. We talk about the port, how the stealing is going on there. We talk about our justice department, justice court and system, how they're so corrupt and evil. We talk about the president, George Weah, how he's just a little numbskull and a little grown-up boy disgracing our country in Africa, running behind a woman in Ghana, sneaking into Ghana as a president of Liberia, not getting the respect of the Ghanaian government and people. What kind of country do we have? Then we have my Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the most wicked and corrupt woman with a Nobel Peace Prize on her neck sitting down in Liberia. How long? How long? How long will we be deceived and fooled and run amok and betrayed and robbed by our own people? The time of the Liberian people is here. There must be a true and real Liberian people revolution to set the pace of equality, justice, freedom, and the rule of law correctly in our country. And who else can better to do that than a correctional officer? I will correct my country. I'm coming home. See you soon.